Being ready to take a chance on yourself is an illusion. You're never going to feel ready, but you knew this already, didn't you? Think back to any significant decision in your life that's affected how it would look like moving forward. Did you just shrug your shoulders and just nonchalantly say, meh, I'm sure it'll be okay? Or did you fret over it and do research and wonder if you're making the right decision and doubt yourself and ask friends for their thoughts and maybe even lose some sleep over it? If you're like me, it's very easy to get caught up in all of the what ifs and stay stuck, unable to make the decision that will change your life, which leaves you stuck in the cycle of your current circumstances. And in this episode, I'm going to walk you through how to get past this analysis paralysis and just start before you feel ready. Welcome to the Let's Talk Self-Talk channel. I'm your guide, Heather Thatcher. Our self-talk can have a profound impact on all aspects of our lives, and it's my goal for this channel to help you reprogram your negative self-talk to support your well-being and make sure that you stick around to the end of this episode, because I always give you an affirmation to bring with you throughout the week to keep improving your self-talk every day. And I know you're ready to start overcoming your inner critic and living your best life and reaching your goals. So let's get this party started and let's talk self-talk. How many times has self-doubt stopped you from moving forward? Maybe you find yourself thinking, what if it doesn't work out? What if I fail? Am I good enough to do this? Will I have enough time? What if I try everything and this still doesn't work for me? Which then leaves you wondering, am I ready to do this in the first place? And I want to challenge you on that though, because being ready to take a chance on yourself is an illusion. You're never going to feel ready, but you knew that already, didn't you? So think back to any significant decision in your life that's affected what it would be like moving forward. Were you able to just shrug your shoulders nonchalantly and say, meh, I'm sure it'll be okay and it'll work itself out? Or did you fret over it and do your research and wonder if you're making the right choice and doubt yourself and ask for help from friends and family and still get caught up in all of these what ifs and maybe even lose some sleep over it? You're never going to feel ready. And the longer you stay in that place of indecision, self-doubt, and the what ifing, the longer you're going to stay in this place where you don't want to be and where nothing is going to change for you. Our bodies are so attuned to the habits that we create that the chemicals and hormones in our body are keeping us liking the status quo. When our lives stay the same, we get the same feel-good hormones circulating because it's keeping things as they are. But when we start to stretch out of that comfort zone and even consider changing a habit, our body's chemical response is to send out stress hormones to protect itself. And our body does this without accessing our logic brain, our heart, or intuition. So that means though, even though you may know that this change that you're considering might be for the best, our body sends out chemicals and hormones that make it feel scary. So it's not necessarily that you're doubting yourself. Your body's chemical messengers are trying to keep you in your current circumstances because, from their perspective, this is safer. But you're here watching this right now because you don't want your life and your self-talk to stay the same. You're ready to be gentler with yourself. You're ready to see what happens when your nasty inner critic's voice doesn't matter anymore. Beautiful soul, it's not about feeling ready. It's about your commitment to making this change for yourself. It's about how much you want to change your self-talk. It's about how much you want to change your life. Your commitment is what's going to move you past this obstacle of self-doubt and fostering your level of commitment and your desire to be the person that you want to be kinder to yourself is where the magic will be for you. Now you're probably asking, how do I do this, Heather? How do I strengthen my commitment so that it outweighs my fears and doubts? First step is to clearly outline what you're working towards and why it'll make a difference for you in your life. Our brain is a very efficient machine, and if it needs to use up more calories and time to figure something out, it's just going to move on and fall back on your old habits and patterns. Your brain knows that what you're doing right now works well enough for your survival. So unless you can make your goals simple and quickly understand why they are essential to you, your brain's going to dismiss them. And that's why the first step in strengthening your commitment and setting yourself up for success to achieve your goals, to shift your negative self-talk, is to understand your own words for exactly why you want it and why it matters. And I've been asking questions on social media to help you start to discover these things for yourself, because everyone's goals and reasons why it matters will be different. To create your goal for your self-talk, or any other goal that you have that you want to up your commitment on, you need to ask yourself these questions. How will I feel when I no longer have any negative self-talk? What will I be able to achieve if my self-talk is not holding me back? And then you need to fill in the blanks on this sentence. I want to put an end to my negative self-talk so that I will feel, write in how you'll feel, and this means that I will be able to, whatever you'll be able to do. You can use this formula for any other kind of goal that you have, and then write it down on a single piece of paper or a sticky note and put it somewhere that you can see it every single morning, like your bathroom mirror, to remind you of what you want and why. The second thing that you need to do is notice when you're deprioritizing yourself and readjust. We've talked about this before, but we've been trained to deprioritize ourselves and put others first. So as we're developing this new habit of going through the exercises and activities and self-reflection to overcome our negative self-talk, we're going to meet some resistance. And remember, your body wants things to stay the same, and it's going to keep giving out those chemicals and hormones that reward you when things remain the same. You know, though, that you want to reprogram your negative self-talk, and you're going to need some time to work on you. And you're worth it. I'm just going to remind you of that right now. And also, if that statement just bounced right off you and you can't believe it yet, and that's okay, it's a core belief with some emotional trauma that just needs healing. Think of it this way. How much more empowered and empowering will you be when you're not held back by self-doubt and negative self-talk? Think of the difference you'll be making then. So yes, right now you're going to have to say no to people that you wouldn't have said no to before, but it's only temporary, and when you're done giving this time and energy and commitment to yourself, you're going to be able to serve others in your life so much better than you already are doing right now. So keep your commitment high, and notice when you're tempted to deprioritize yourself and say yes to something when you mean to say no. Notice those patterns and then practice saying no ahead of time, so the next time the opportunity comes up, you'll already have a little habit pattern built in, which the chemical messengers will also be there to support it, and it'll be a lot easier for you to reinforce this new little habit of prioritizing yourself. Number 3, you need to figure out your one thing. The last suggestion I have for you to overcome self-doubt and strengthen your commitment is to find the one thing. It's so easy to get caught up in the excitement and think of where you want to be and how things will be different when you've achieved the goal you're setting out to accomplish, but you didn't get to where you are right now overnight. And so it's unrealistic to think that you're going to get to where you want to be just by snapping your fingers and changing your mind. Overhauling your lifestyle, your thought patterns, and your mindset doesn't work. Remember those chemical messengers in your body that like things to stay the same? If you make changes that are too big, you're going to be working against your body's physiology as well as relying on willpower, which doesn't work. So instead, make the shift slowly, changing those chemical messengers just a little bit at a time so you don't get overwhelmed, you don't meet a lot of resistance, and so when the self-doubt comes up, it doesn't stop you in your tracks and have you fall back on your old habits. Think of a reasonable amount of time it will take you to get to your goals. For example, my self-talk remedy program is a 12-week program, which means that people can expect a complete reprogramming of their self-talk in 12 weeks. That's what they can expect by the end, not day one. And so then thinking backwards then, what one thing do they need to have changed by the 8-week mark that would guarantee their success in 12 weeks? And again, what will they need to have achieved by the 4-week mark so that they can guarantee their success in 12 weeks? You would keep breaking things down like this in small increments until you get to the question, what one thing do I need to do today to guarantee the successful reprogramming of my negative self-talk in just 12 weeks? One thing. And that might be as simple as committing to the paperclip exercise that I've talked about a lot on here. So you can go to the description below where I'll link to the guide that you can learn what it's all about. So if you follow these 3 steps of clearly outlining what you're working towards and why it'll make a difference for you in your life, noticing when you're deprioritizing yourself and readjusting, and then looking to make one small change at a time, you're going to increase your commitment and drastically increase your ability to succeed with your goals. If you're interested in learning about what the Self-Talk Remedy program is all about, then I invite you to go to one of my free live workshops by clicking down in the description below or by going to heatherthatcher.com/workshop. I will be there live sharing my most helpful and actionable information and answering all of your questions. I stay as long as it takes, so you can go to heatherthatcher.com/workshop to learn more and save your seat.